backstory on kind of how did this whole downsizing mentor thing start? I mean, obviously the 10 moves in 10 years and 30 plus moves over, a lifetime. But when you thought, I'm good at this, I kind of want to share it. Like, can you kind of tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, absolutely. So a few years ago, I would say it was about 13, 14 years ago, we were living, my husband and I and all of our kids, we were living in what we thought was going to be our forever home. And I literally said out loud, I'm never leaving this house. I'm going to live in this house until I die. Those are famous last words. And I literally said that out loud. The only way that we would ever move out of this house is if my husband lost his job. Well, guess what happened? My husband lost his job. And I had no idea what I was doing, like where to even begin. I was so overwhelmed. I was literally Googling how to pack a moving box. And so over the course of all of those moves, because that move turned into another one and another one as jobs continued to shift and economies changed. And so I never set out to move 10 times in 10 years, but I did. And in the process, I kept notes of the things that worked and the things that didn't, the things I wish I had known, the things I learned the hard way, the things I wasted a lot of money learning the hard way. Yeah. And I turned it into a course. I decided if I had to move, even if I only had to move one time, what are the things that I would want to know? And that's what I put into the course. And that's also what I teach in my videos on YouTube.
Yeah. So let's back up for a minute. So you're doing all of these moves and you're kind of finding some pros and cons to the home moving process. Yeah. At what point, because you started before the course came the YouTube channel. Yes. And I got to be a part of watching you grow and continue to grow that. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, actually, I'm going to throw that little QR code on the screen right there. If you scan that with your phone, go to Sheila's YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, follow what she does, because it is, I find myself actually kind of hanging out with you some days, just little did you know, playing your YouTube videos and going through and starting to declutter my makeup drawer and like going through my closet. And you have such good tips and tricks of how to, I mean, I don't even know. It's just so good. You got to go follow it. But at what point did you think, Sheila, like, you know what? I think I could really start creating some good YouTube content and then start monetizing on YouTube?
Yeah, well, it started out as a moving channel and I called it Packing Peace because I wanted people to be able to have peace in the process of moving because of all those moves. And so that's how I first created the channel and then eventually the course. But it was all about moving. And then I threw a video in there about decluttering before your move and people loved it. And they were like, share more about decluttering. And it was just, decluttering is something that I just kind of assumed everybody knew how to do, or there were already enough videos on it or whatever, but people loved that video. So I created another one and then they asked for more and more. So now it has become sort of like moving and decluttering, downsizing, if you will. So downsizing meaning not just moving into a smaller place, but even if you're moving into a place that is the same size or even larger than your current one, you don't take all your stuff with you when you move. Right? A move is a fresh start. And so that's where the decluttering part started. And then it just resonated with people. There are so many of us who are just weighed down by our stuff and it impacts our health. Did you know that clutter actually increases our stress hormones? It impacts our sleep, it impacts our relationships. And there are studies that have been done on this. This is not just me talking, that clutter, it really does a number on our health, both physical and mental. And so anytime you can kind of get a handle on the clutter, and release the things that don't belong, both mentally and physically,
right?
It helps us to move forward. And so that's where I kind of took the experience of moving 10 times in 10 years, plus my background as a coach and as a home stager, and brought all of that together into these videos.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, that's right. You've got the home staging piece of it as well as the coaching piece, which it's like the trifecta of bringing it all together. What do you think? Like, I'm just curious, just kind of a random question, but like, when it comes to that house full of stuff, and to your point, and I know those of you watching this right now, you're like, oh yeah, that one room in my house is like, you don't even want to walk in there, right? You want to like shut the door, lock the door, and just throw away the key, but you know that you need to eventually go through it. Like, where does somebody begin to start, Sheila? And I know you cover this again in your YouTube videos and in the course, and we're going to get into that a little deeper, but where do you even begin? Like when somebody is feeling that overwhelm of like, or say a parent passes away and you've got a whole house, like where is a place to start?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. My most recent video talks about that. It's called When Decluttering Hurts. And it's about how decluttering can just be so overwhelming that sometimes it just feels like this huge task. And We don't even want to start because it feels like we're never going to get there, right? It just feels like we don't know where to start. So why even start? And also grief, like you said, if you've lost a loved one, then grief can play into that as well. So I always recommend starting in a place that is not emotionally charged. So that would be a place like your pantry, your bathroom, your cleaning supplies. Don't
Ooh.
start with sentimental things. Do not start with photos, with yearbooks, with baby albums, or any of that stuff, because that can get really overwhelming quickly and you don't see progress as fast. But if you start in a bathroom and you're decluttering like expired makeup and empty bottles of shampoo and things like that, most of us are not going to have sentimental attachment to those things. So it's a little easier to see the progress and to let that stuff go. So I would say that number one is to start with a place that's not emotionally charged. And then number two is to do it in small bite-sized pieces. And that's why I have my 1-minute decluttering guide, because I don't care how busy you are, you've got 1 minute. You can spend 1 minute with me. And the trick is if you spend 1 minute, then you're going to want to keep going, right? It's just getting started.
Yeah, that's so good. And that 1-minute decluttering guide, you guys, I want to just tell you, I've got links to all of these things for you, and I'm going to drop them after the broadcast. So check out the comment section for that. But let's talk about, so that is that your free guide, Sheila? It's the 1-minute decluttering, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
free
touch
guide.
on that just a little bit more, would you? Yeah.
Yeah, so it just walks you through your whole house. And I also have videos that go along with it on YouTube, but the guide is just like a printout. You can print it out or just keep it on your phone and you can check things off. And you literally set your timer for 1 minute and you do each of the categories. So like for 1 minute, we're going to declutter. Do you still have CDs and DVDs, but you don't have a player anymore? Okay, let's go tackle that. Just things like that, really specific areas. And then you just check them off as you go. If you don't have clutter in one of those areas, then you can substitute something else, or you can spend a little extra time somewhere else.
That's awesome. So you guys, I want to just tell you, so she's got an incredible YouTube channel, which again, if you scan the QR code above, definitely check it out, hit the subscribe button and watch some of her content. It's really good. The free guide, actually just dropped the link to that in the comments there as well. But so you've got all these different amazing pieces and videos and so forth. But let's move into the conversation. So you create all this content and you do all this stuff and you're helping all of these people. And then you decide to put it together in a course. And so share with everybody a little bit about the course. Who's it for? Kind of how does it work? Like, you know, how many modules or how much time does it take? Let's dig into that, Sheila.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I started the YouTube channel, like I said, first to teach people how to move. So it's things like how to pack a box and I have a whole color coding system that every time I've moved, people have said, this is the most organized move I've ever seen. And it was just something that I kind of thought everyone knew, but they didn't. And so I started teaching that on YouTube. I started teaching all of these different tips and tricks about moving and about decluttering. And then I had people reach out to me and say, you know, I just wish that I had this like all in one spot with links, with everything all together. So then I created the course, and the course has 21 videos. They're never before seen. So they're not the videos that are on YouTube. They're completely specific to the course, and they're really bite-sized. So maybe like 5 to 8 minutes each, so that I sit you down and we walk through all the stuff and here's what we're going to learn, and then you can go do it. So it's designed so that you could spend maybe an hour or two every night. You could start on a Monday night and like after work and go Monday through Thursday and be done with the entire course by the weekend and then get into action. Because when you're moving, when you're decluttering, when you're downsizing, you don't need to sit and watch 25 hours of me talking. You just need to know like little bite-sized chunks. Here's what you do and then go do it, right? And so it also comes with a workbook that is, you can print it out like this, or you can just use it digitally, but it's a 25-page workbook that I literally spent hundreds of hours on, like putting all the information, everything that I wish I had known, but again, really condensed, because you don't have time to read like a 300-page book, right? You just need it right here. Here are the pictures. Here are the links. Here are the lists. Here's what you need to do before you list your house. Here's what you need to do to declutter. Even just things like moving supplies, like here's exactly how many boxes you're going to need and what you're going to need, and here's a link to order them. If you're overwhelmed and you just want to scan here or click here and get it done, then here you go.
Oh my gosh. I was just going to say, I saw the QR codes as you were flipping through there. So you've got links to the items. You take the guesswork out of where do I find this? How do I get that? It's like everything you need all in one, right?
Everything you need. Yeah. And it's even got like decluttering guides. It's got your list of supplies. I mean, everything you would need. Items to declutter before you pack.
So you're not packing the crap that you need to throw away.
Exactly. So like the order to do things, because there is kind of a specific order when you're moving. And so it just walks you through all that, takes the guesswork out of it. And my goal was really, because moving is so overwhelming. And with my 10 moves in 10 years, all of those moves involved multiple children, including children with special needs.
Yeah.
And we DIY'd all of those moves, and we were on a tight budget most of the time. So we didn't have a lot of margin for error for like buying a lot of the wrong things, right? And so this takes all the guesswork out of that, and it helps you to know, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to need, and here's how much of it I'm going to need, and here's where I can buy it.
Yeah, that is so ingenious. And you guys, so some of the content too of Sheila's that I've watched, like who'd have ever thought I've moved once, really. I mean, like, well, one big move from one house to another house with my family, but like, you know, like the last boxes to pack. Never thought of that. How many times have you moved someone or whatever? And you're like, wait, where's the whatever? And you're like, I have no idea. It's in the semi somewhere. Like you've thought of everything down to even the garbage bags. Use white garbage bags for stuff that you're going to keep, right? Only black garbage bags for actual garbage.
Yes.
I mean, like, what? I mean, it's just so, I know Lisa says this is freaking genius. Wow. It is so good. And so the course, I love that you put it all together and you included that workbook. So you guys, I can't encourage you enough. The link that it might have been a little choppy link. I just copied and pasted it quick from, but the link is there in the comments. If you guys need it again, just tag me down below. But check out that course. And then, but wait, there's more. Listen.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. If you are moving, whatever, if you're moving your own family, maybe you've got a college kid, you know, maybe like I said, maybe it's your parents, right? Like getting them out of their home they were in for 40 years and maybe into an assisted living. You know, we all eventually go through that at some point in time. But I want to talk about, Sheila and I were talking about, you know, this call just before we got on here, and what you did for the realtors and creating this opportunity for realtors. So if you're a realtor, pay close attention because there's an opportunity for you. And I want you to talk about this, Sheila, for you to be able to gift this to buyers and sellers. Like, I'm just going to tell you, nobody needs the cheesy champagne glasses, whatever that they throw away. I'm sorry, what we do, or the mugs. We all have engraved mugs. We don't need an engraved mug again. We don't need any of that kind of stuff. Gifting this course to a buyer or seller is so genius. So Sheila, talk about that option.
Yeah, of course. So I actually developed the course with input from multiple realtors. I sat down with them and I said, okay, what do you wish that your clients knew? What do you wish you could say to them without coming across as rude? So I'm actually like the third person to step in and sort of like be the bad guy. I'm still really nice, but I come in and say the things that the realtors feel like they wish they could say, but can't because they don't want to compromise that relationship. And so I'm able to tell people, okay, here's some stuff that you need to declutter. And here's some things that you really got to take care of before that showing, like things like smells in your house and having religious and political stuff all over your house. Like, here's some things that you have to take out as a home stager coming in with that eye. And so I don't know about, it depends on the area. I don't know about the areas where everyone lives, but here in my area, a home stager costs about $900. And so I took all that information that home stagers teach, and you can still obviously use the course even if you're working with a home stager. But if you're not, then I walk the clients through, or the students in the course through everything that they would need to know to declutter and show their house in the best light possible. And I did that by working with realtors and finding out, what is it that you wish that your people knew? So when people take this course, then it helps them to be more physically ready to sell their house. It also helps them to be more emotionally ready to let it go, because I bring in the coaching part and the neuroscience part. And it just helps the realtor to have a smoother experience dealing with the client. It also helps the client to have a smoother experience, whether they're buying or selling. So it's a win-win. Yeah. And also, like you said, it's a real value add for the realtors, because a lot of times realtors are like, I want to give my clients a gift and I don't know what to gift them. And this is a gift that is clutter-free. It's not going to take up any space for anyone. It's not going to be something that someone's going to have to throw away, but it's also something that really sets the realtor apart as someone that has just given a great value. So it's a value add for the realtors to be able to offer this to their clients. And so there is any person can take the course, like anyone who wants to take it can take it, but realtors get a special deal, and there's a special package that they can give, that they can get to offer this course to their clients.
Yeah, and I'll include that information here at the top of the broadcast too. So I'll edit this and include some links and that kind of stuff. So I think, when you were sharing that with me this morning, what a genius way to deliver value to a market that really needs it. Again, from a realtor perspective, like you said, and again, all the things I really never thought of, the smells. That's huge. I never gave it a thought about how important that is when someone walks into your home for the very first time. I suppose Glade plugins is not well, it never is. Okay, Glade plugins are like from the devil. But anyway, the point is, like, you do not want to have those kinds of smells when you're walking through the door to somebody's potential new home.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where I bring in the coaching part too, because the part of your brain that is tied to smell is one of the hardest to override. Like, you remember a smell forever. I mean, you probably know you can smell something that you smelled in your childhood and you remember it. Still remember my Love's Baby Soft perfume. And I still remember what it smelled like, right? Or your lip smackers, whatever. You remember certain smells. And so realtors know that. They know that, I don't want to show my client the cat pee house. Like, so, and they talk amongst themselves like that. And so I'm just here talking to their clients and saying, okay, here's some things you might want to take care of before you go showing your house to the public. Here's some things to work on. And I give them really practical steps on how to do it.
Yeah. And what an asset that realtor then becomes really to the buyer, to the seller, when they say that, listen, I've got a gift for you that's going to help you with your move, or going to help you. Yeah. Moving out, moving in. I mean, it works for buyers and sellers so well. And just an added value for the realtor to say, I've got a whole course that takes you through it, right? Like, it's just brilliant. So yeah, listen, if you're a realtor, or friends, I'm going to invite you to tag your realtor friends in this, because this is so super smart. And again, I'm going to post the information above on how realtors can connect with Sheila on the realtor side of this, course, and how you can gift it to your buyers or sellers. Sheila, what do you think? I have a couple more questions, but anything else that you want to add because my notes are a little all over here. Anything else you want to add right now that we haven't touched on?
I think just whether you are buying or selling a house, or whether you're just watching the videos or taking the course, however you're interacting with me, if you're feeling like you're just stuck, that's really my specialty, is helping people get unstuck and helping them understand and not be ashamed of procrastination. And so I help people understand, here's what's happening in your brain when you're procrastinating. Your brain is trying to keep you safe. It's a completely normal response. And we bring that into the picture, and we talk about trauma, and we come at this with grace, because there are a lot of people who have this idea of a coach or even a YouTuber as someone who just like tells you what to do. But I come and sit with the person and walk them through it. And I sit with them where they are. And that's why I call myself a downsizing mentor. That word mentor was really carefully chosen, because a mentor is someone who comes alongside you and walks the path with you. And so I help people to understand, okay, well, here is why you are feeling tempted to go binge Netflix or eat all the ice cream out of your freezer instead of packing those boxes. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a normal process that's happening in your brain. But here's what we can do to work around it. Here's what we can do to both have grace for everything that you're feeling and not try to invalidate it, but also still get the boxes packed. Because also that date is still coming on your calendar. So kind of coming at it from both aspects. And I think that's really what sets the videos and the course apart, is the emotional aspect.
That's huge. Again, in the coaching space, this is why people don't take action, because they're paralyzed in perfection or procrastination and all of the things to really keep them comfortable, protect their brain. And when you don't address those things, as the end consumer, it gets really frustrating, because you beat yourself up. Why am I not taking the action? Why am I not moving forward? And you address all those things, which again it's genius, and it's such God's gift that you are sharing with the world. And I'm so grateful that you're doing it. So you guys, listen, I'm going to, I'll connect her free resource, the YouTube channel. Obviously, if you scan that QR code, you guys can get to her YouTube channel. And I highly recommend it, because there was one day, and I forget, I think it was a newer video you had put out. So I was just watching it like as your friend, and pretty soon I'm starting to clean out my stuff. I'm like, oh, she is that friend that comes alongside you in your closet and is walking through things with you. And you can just kind of pause her along the way. And it's just, it helps you get stuff done, which again, there's a brain piece to this, right? As you're kind of like working together, even though it's through video. To get things done. So I love it. There was something else I wanted to ask. Oh, tell me this. So let's see here. Online course. I covered that. There was something else I wanted to touch on too before we were done here. Um, let me just ask you this. So for that person right now, they are expect the move is coming. Like they know that it's going to happen. Right now, would it be best for them to grab the free guide or just grab the course and get started?
So the free guide is specifically to decluttering, and it walks you through like, here are 105 things to declutter in your house. It's not going to necessarily help you with a move. I mean, anytime you declutter, your move is going to go better. But the more short on time you are and the more overwhelmed you are, the more you need to take the course instead of watching all the videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Because you could try to like piece some things together on YouTube and you would get the gist. But the course is so specific and it's so much more bite size. And it's like, I know you're overwhelmed. Here's what we're going to cover. And then boom, we cover it. And then here are the pages in the workbook that you go to. So it's all just right there. And I would say that if someone is really short on time and they're moving on short notice, that the course would be the place to start rather than trying to piece it all together with the YouTube videos.
That makes sense. Yep. Oh, and by the way, guys, so you can use the code Mindo. This is what I was thinking. You can use the code Mindo to save on that course. So again, realtors, let me just tell you, there's going to be kind of a special way for you to connect with Sheila on that offer. And I'll include that up at the top here in the description. But if you are, again, you're that person that you're having to make a move, or, you're having to maybe move your folks or having to experience something like that, grab the course and use the code Mindo to save. And I think that's valid just for the month of October. Am I right, Sheila?
Yeah, that's just for the month of October. But the realtor deal, like I have a special deal for realtors all the time.
Yeah.
So, and they can, you're going to put the number in the.
Yep. I'll include it in the description above for them to text. Yep.
Yeah, they can call or text me. And I'm seeing these awesome comments. Thank you so much, everybody. Trisha was saying that she gifted her daughter this course and that she closed on her first house today and that it was very helpful. So thank you so much. She said her daughter loved it. That's awesome.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, gifted this to my daughter. Closed on her first house today. Again, I just in watching some of the videos and some of the content that I have, Sheila, it's just been awesome to see all of the things that I have never thought about as far as the colored tape that you use, the certain boxes that you use. I remember even watching something like all of those hanging boxes, how expensive they are and how you can do a better job at, all of your hanging clothes, like things that only someone that has moved multiple times would have realized, right? You know? And so
if there's a way to save money, I'm always going to share that. If there's a way to cost, if there's something that I think is unnecessary, I'm always going to share it. And then by the same token, if there's something that I'm like, no, you really need this, like mattress protectors. I'm working on a video right now where I tell the story of the time we moved and everything was out on the lawn. We couldn't get it to fit in the truck. So we were re-Tetrising the truck and it started pouring rain and our mattresses were out on the lawn. We had all of our kids were running around. The friends who were helping us, they had all their kids over and all these kids were just rolling down this muddy hill. So you need mattress protectors, just the things that we learn over, like with anything else, when you do something, a lot of times you learn some tips and tricks. And that's just really what I'm wanting to share. Most people will say that moving is the most stressful or one of the most stressful things that you'll ever do. And my goal is not necessarily to make it a stress-free move, because I don't know that there's such a thing. My goal is to take some of that stress and that pressure off so that you can feel more peace in the process.
There we go. I love it. That's it. That's so fantastic. Sheila, you're amazing. You guys definitely follow her on YouTube, grab that free guide. And again, if that course is something that is going to fit you now or in the future, come back to this video, or again, stay close to her on YouTube, you guys, just stay close to her there. And Sheila, I love you. I appreciate you so much and all of what you have to offer the world. You're a gift. You're a gift, my friend.
Thank you. That goes both ways. I'm so grateful for you.
Likewise. Okay. Love you, my friend. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you back here again, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every Monday for Mondays with Mindo. Until then, have a blessed, amazing, awesome week. See you guys. Bye.
Thank you.